So a Roman guy is brought into the hospital and the doctor goes like, ooh, I'll have to administer this medicine as quickly as possible. I'm gonna put it in an IV. The Roman guy is confused, is like, doctor, what's a for? And why do you have to put my medicine in it? I don't think a lot of people are gonna get that joke. Hello world! My name is Charlie Karomi and welcome to More of That Please, our community pop-up podcast. Every week I set up this booth somewhere in the Comox Valley and ask the members of this beautiful community what they want to see more of in the world. Everything from more laughter to more housing to more parks to more local food. Anything goes. This right here is a podcast for the people, by the people, and of the people. This project is made possible by the Comox Valley Arts Incubator Microgrant and is recorded on the Unceded Traditional Territory of the Comox First Nation, the traditional keepers of this land. Now, this episode is part 3 of my link up with the Comox Valley Farmers Market that were super gracious and allowed me to set up at their locations all over the Comox Valley. They're running 3 markets this summer, Saturdays in Courtenay, Sunday in Cumberland. Now, the interviews that you're gonna listen to on this episode were recorded at the Wednesday market in Comox. And I'm just realizing, in case you're not from the Comox Valley and you're kind of confused by all of these names, let me explain. Now, the Comox Valley is a region on the east coast of Vancouver Island. That's the Comox Valley, and it consists of the city of Courtenay, the town of Comox, and the village of Cumberland. So this episode, the interviews that you're gonna listen to were recorded in the town of Comox. There, you're all caught up. It is a super beautiful place, by the way. If you've never been here and you get a chance, please visit it. It is super beautiful. Straight to the conversations now, and one of the first people to hop on the mic was Twyla, the general manager of the Comox Valley Farmers Market and also a tireless advocate for local food and local agriculture. Twyla, what's one thing that you want to see more of in the world?
Access to fresh local food. Nice.
Talk to me about that. What is the benefit of access to fresh local food? Fresh and local as
Fresh
well.
and local. So all the nutrients you're getting food that is picked fresh. Right now, a good example is the farmers market that we're at right now. The produce was picked a few hours before market. You can't get any fresher than that. The fresher it is, the more nutrition that is in there. It tastes better, it lasts longer. There's just so many benefits to having local food. And if we have local food that's accessible to everyone, then everyone is benefiting because the community is gathering, they're getting all the fresh, nutritious food, they're feeling better, they're doing other stuff in the community. It kind of builds upon it.
Yeah.
And it makes it all around better.
And it's not an obvious thing that it's not something that happens all the time without like conscious effort. What's the situation right now in most places in the world or in most places in Canada?
Well, I think we import and export our food a lot. Like a good example is on the island right now, we only have 2 to 3 days of food available to us. If something were to happen and the ferries were to be cut off, we don't have a lot of food, but we have the ability to make it. We have the ability to produce it. We live in a very amazing agriculturally awesome land
2 days?
right now.
2 days?
2 to 3 days. And we import all of our stuff. Years ago, we were growing all that kind of stuff, about say 50% of the product that we used on the island, but now it's down to 5% or less, which if anything were to happen, if floods were to happen or big fires were to happen in California where we get a lot of our produce, or Mexico, or there's something happening, people weren't able to cross on a ferry or anything like that, we would be stuck. And so we really need to take a look about how we're getting our fresh local food and encourage all of that.
For sure. And it's like it's all about like eating fresh, as we've said. The body in season.
Yeah.
Our bodies, something that I keep reminding myself is that this human body evolved like for thousands of years on eating things that are fresh and more natural. So the more I can get of that, it's basically if your body is a race car, it's tuned to use certain kinds of fuel. You need to give it that fuel. So okay.
One of the things that today, highly processed food. So all food is processed in some capacity, whether it's being picked and then washed and then cut. Even if it's a vegetable, that's still processing. But the highly processed food is valued and is cheaper and subsidized more than food that is less processed. So we need to kind of flip it so that we can make food that is more nutritionally dense, more easily accessible, so that it's not so expensive. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with processed food. Every once in a while, put it in there, but having the access, and that is one of the things that we need is access. Not everyone has access to that fresh local food.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that people do, because I think that's what's going to help grow the community. It's not, the farmers market is not just about buying local food, although that's the main thing we're here, but it's also a way to bring connection to the community where people can meet, they can have coffee. Hey, I haven't seen you in a few days or weeks. Let's go have a coffee at the market. Let's buy something. Let's get something to eat. Let's pick up some groceries. It's a good way to connect, to bring community together.
100% true what Twyla said. Farmers markets are mainly about the food, but they also have become a social gathering, a place for people to link up and hang out and share and just vibe. As the young ones say, the vibes at the Comox Valley Farmers Markets are immaculate. But what do we do when the vibes aren't as immaculate? You know how life gets when the world becomes a bit too much. My next guest on the mic, Vivi, covers what we can do to combat that. So if you could add one thing to every workplace or every school in the world, what would you add?
I would add a pause space.
Pause space.
Yeah, a space where people can go to really pause in their day when you're studying. It's not like a timeout space, it's a break space. It just takes it, it's a wellness space. It just takes us into the silence, whatever someone wants to work with, however that is. But, you start working and you're getting your day and just going and going and going and going. Nothing breaks that system. Or you're studying, you're moving between classes and you're all hyped for your exams and here. And we just we don't naturally train ourselves, and certainly in the West, to take our places and to pause every day. So
how would a pause space, how would it look? Like, what would be in there? Is there chairs, benches? Yeah.
We're
what do you
architects
envision?
and planners. That's our background.
Yeah.
We would create more of a natural setting in that.
Yeah,
so
tell me
that you'd
about
have some kind of space where you'd connect to nature. So let's say an indoor atrium, if that's what that space could, facilitate. So there's natural flow of air, there's natural daylights, but also there's time. And there could actually be, I've seen these really cool things in Japan on the buses where they have these pods that come right over you in the bus. So sometimes our spaces are too not able to access nature or those quietness, but you could actually create these pods where people could just go in. Hospitals, it would be amazing to put these in hospitals rather than the waiting rooms that we have.
Yeah.
And everyone's sick and they're interfacing with everyone else. Man, if we just had these little rooms, like little tiny chairs that just created that you could just go in and pull all your energy and just listen to the music. And so it's not there to chill out in terms of going to a club, chill out. It's there to sit and just be still with where you need.
Center yourself. Yeah.
More of the pause on our reflections, more on the pause of where we're going, more on the creating in our built environment spaces where we can actually pause more inside of our program managements, whatever we're doing, right?
Just pause. Love that, baby. Thank you so much.
Thank you for offering this to our community.
That's what Vivi wants to see more of in the world. More spaces to just hit pause, which is clearly an idea that resonates with a lot of us, including my better half, who came through to the market and hopped on the mic to talk to her boo.
This is Melissa Karomi.
From?
Courtney.
From Courtney.
Yes.
Melissa from Courtney.
Yes.
Big question for you. If you could add, you're working, yeah?
Yes.
If you could add one thing to every workplace in the world to make it better, to make it nicer, what would that be?
I feel like a lounge area.
A lounge.
Like a place you can just, there's a bean bag, there's TV, there's unlimited, and you can rest. No one is asking you why you're going there, how long you're staying in the lounge area.
Like a rest space.
Like a rest space where I can just doom scroll on my bean bag and no one is asking me why I've been there for 20 minutes.
Actually, someone came through earlier and kind of said something similar. She called it a pause space, like somewhere you can go to pause.
Yes.
And it can take different, she said it can take different forms, but I feel like you're saying the same. How would that help people working at that office or that workplace?
I feel like sometimes you need a minute and there's nowhere else to go apart from another office. You don't want to go out. So I feel like you need a space where to
escape, but not escape.
Yeah, I don't want to go out. It's too hot. I don't want to stay at my desk to feel like I'm still at my desk. So it will be like a place where it feels like it's outside, but it's not. And I guess maybe the corporate rules don't apply in there.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I think some places, the famous one is Google. We see photos of Google's like lounge areas all the time, like a place to disconnect. But you're saying more places need to have that space. It's not a workplace. It's not like where you go for work. It's just a rest area,
and it's not a scheduled work area. Like some people usually have like Friday every 4 to 5 we are meeting. Right?
Yeah.
It's at my own time. I feel like I need 5 minutes. I go to there.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like we need more of.
More of that. More of chilled
pause areas.
Like an island of solitude within all of that corporate.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Woo woo! More chill spaces. That's what Melissa wants to see more of in the world. I'm telling you, as wise and insightful as she is beautiful, that one. Okay, my next guest on the mic was fellow podcast professional George. He's part of the team that produces the intergenerational storytelling podcast Ancestral Echoes for CV Arts and CVOX Community Radio. Give it a listen. There's some amazing stories in there. Here's my conversation with George discussing one of my prime podcast questions. If you could add one thing to every neighborhood in the world, what would that be?
That's a good question. So I would say a library. Probably.
Library? Talk to me about that. Why a library?
Well, I think books are a way to not only, gain knowledge and expand your horizons, but also to learn about other people. So you can kind of learn about other people's experiences and put yourself inside their shoes in a way that, I don't know, to me is unique in the mediums. It's not as passive as watching a movie, but...
I love that, actually, because a lot of times that people are, like, individuals are mean or are cruel or are negative in most ways. A lot of times it's because they're a bit ignorant. They don't know what they're up against. And the human reaction to something that they don't know is negativity. So if you know more about the world from reading it from books in the library, you're more inclined to being positive and being accepting of things.
Exactly, yeah. That's a great way to put it.
You just solved it all. Like,
yeah, done. Okay.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Basically, from reading and learning more about the world and the people around us, it helps us be better humans, better neighbors, a better part of this human race. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. All right.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been great.
Super powerful right there from George. The more we read, the more we learn, the more we become better human beings, which sounds like something one of my teachers in primary school told me, but I never listened to. Anyway, it was family day out for House Peak. That's George's family. And his better half, Whitney, was also there. And she joined me on the mic to tell me all about her idea, which is all about getting roofs over heads. Is it roofs or is it roofs? Roofs. If you were to add one thing to every neighborhood in the world, what would that be?
Oh, that's easy. Free housing. I think that treating housing like it's an investment is leaving a lot of people behind from the opportunities that you get from having a permanent place, from having a place of your own.
Yeah.
And I think that you shouldn't really base economies on real estate investment. I think there should be space for everyone in every neighborhood where they want to be, where they need to be, where they work, or for everyone. Not leaving people behind, because I think somebody that is living on the street is a society's failure that could be corrected.
Okay, yeah. More free housing, please.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
I love that. more free housing, or at least, at the very least, more accessible, affordable housing. That's an idea we can all agree with right there, especially for folks living in Canada's urban areas. More free housing, more affordable housing, please and thank you. Now, it wasn't just the older members of House Speak who had something to say. Their daughter, Amelia, and her friend Tilly also sat down to chat, told me a little bit about themselves and also what they believe that their schools and also the world at large could use more of. Who do I have the absolute pleasure of speaking to today?
Tilly Coxon. I'm Amelia Peak.
Amelia, how are ya?
Good.
Nice, awesome. Hey, Amelia, if I were to ask you this question, describe Amelia in 1 or 2 sentences. Who is Amelia?
I like books and D&D. Like
nice.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I really like doing art and like paintings of the beach.
Nice.
And I really like gymnastics and soccer too.
Okay, question for you. If you could add one thing to every school in the world, what would that be?
I think if they could have like enough staff to like accommodate people who need extra help, so like everybody can have the resources they need. Like at our school, it's just there's usually there's the teacher, and then one helper, so the helper has to go around. Mm-hmm. And if there was more, there could be like multiple people getting help at the same time.
Yeah, having more people there to help out. What school do you go to, by the way?
Brooklyn Elementary.
I've been there once. It's really nice. Do you like it there?
Yeah.
If you were president of the world for a day, right? So you rule over everything, right? What's one thing you would make free for everyone?
Free for everyone?
Yeah.
Food.
Food? Oh, talk to me about that.
Well, like food's like kind of a necessity to live, and some people, they don't have enough money to buy food. Yeah. So, like, I think everybody should be able to have food.
That's awesome. And also, like, I guess what we can do right here is maybe if we can donate food whenever we can, because there's a lot of places that take
like food banks.
Would you advise people like to seek out their local food banks and help out?
To like donate extra food that you don't need.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. So President Tilly has declared free food for everyone, right? That's the way. Awesome. Amazing ideas, and thank you so much for sharing, Tilly.
Welcome.
More support for learners in school and more food for the less fortunate who cannot afford to feed themselves. Big shout out to Amelia and Tilly for those well thought out and insightful answers. I'm telling you, the Who were absolutely correct on that song of theirs. The kids are all right. The kids are all right. Moving on now, it's easy for human beings to take things for granted, especially when you live and exist in a place where something is in abundance. I'll give you an example. We live in the Comox Valley, and here we're fortunate enough to have rivers that flow year-round, giving us some of the purest drinking water in the world. Now, it would be easy for a resident of the Comox Valley to take that for granted. Not Elizabeth from Comox, though. She understands how precious it is. If you were president of the world for a day, what would you make free of charge for everyone?
I would like to have water free of charge.
Water free of... Yes.
Clean drinking water.
Tell me about that. How does that affect someone when they don't have access to that?
Well, it affects the whole families. Women, mostly it's women who are in charge of bringing water home. Yeah. That's what I see from southern countries.
Yeah, for sure.
So it takes time... many hours of the day just to bring water, and then it also holds girls back from going to school because it's a women's job, so girls can't go to school. Yeah, people have more sicknesses, babies dying much more faster. So water is very, very important, and free water, that would be for a day even, that would be wonderful.
Water is life, and as you've said, because if you don't have access to that clean water, so much of your time is spent going to fetch it, storing it, making sure you have enough. And if you don't get clean water, you can get sick. Even cooking becomes a problem. So water is tied to every part of our lives.
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
You're
Elizabeth.
very welcome.
Thank you for sharing. simple equation right there. Water equals life, so more water equals more life. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Anyway, moving on. Question for you. What adjective perfectly describes someone who loves the outdoors and loves nature? Well, my next guest is that kind of person, and she told us that her grandson gave her the perfect adjective to describe herself. Who is Rosella?
Who is Rosella? Rosella is my grandson said, a naturey person.
Perfect description.
Likes nature stuff.
Nice. And do you agree with that definition? You
yes.
are a naturey person, right?
I think I am. Yes, awesome. I am. I like nature.
Love
of
it.
all kinds. Yes.
So, Rosella, your question is, what would you advise everyone in the world to do at least once in their life?
Everyone in the world should at least once in their life direct ferry traffic. Okay, that's an exciting, interesting. I was not expecting that. Beautiful, I love it. Tell me about it. Tell me about directing ferry traffic. Well, it's because I used to work for BC Ferries. Yeah. And one of my jobs was in the terminal, directing traffic. Yeah. And then I'd hear from people, oh, those ferry workers, they don't do anything. They just stand there and wave their arms around. No. You come here and try it out. Let's switch. You come try this. Oh, I totally get that. It's a difficult job, isn't it? Well, it is. Yes. First of all, you have to direct traffic and make sure you don't get run over. And then you have to make sure that people don't attack you. Yeah. Not that many people do. Yeah. But still, it's and listen to the radio and answer. More than meets the eye, should we put it that way? There we go. Is that the word? More than meets the eye. Yeah. How long did you work for BC Ferries? About 20 years. Oh, nice. And then with another ferry company too for a while. So yeah. Thank you. I know you probably didn't get this a lot or enough times or as many times as you needed to, but thank you for your service. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. Awesome. I'll pass the word on to my ferry friends. Yes. To everyone working the ferry, like working on the ferries, we see you and we love you and we appreciate you. So more appreciation. More appreciation. Yeah. Yes. I love that. I was not expecting that answer. I would not have guessed. You'd give me like a million guesses. I would not have guessed that's where you're going to go with that. More appreciation for BC Ferries workers? Hells yeah. I think they don't get enough love. I agree with Rosella. And considering the fact that we live on an island where we depend on ferries to get us and our cars and our food and our supplies in and out the mainland, I feel like we should show them a bit more love to the guys who make all that happen. So thank you, BC Ferries workers. Anyway, my next guest on the mic was Pete, who came through with one of the most soul-warming answers I had heard all evening. What's one thing that you would advise everyone in the world to do at least once in their life?
Once in their life, okay.
Or twice, or thrice.
This is an answer to your question. It's maybe a little more expansive than what you were asking.
Love it.
But I think people should talk to other people and find out how they're doing. If you happen to be sitting, as I was recently, on a bus coming up from Nanaimo, and I had a chance to talk with the person sitting next to me, and the two of us had a really wonderful conversation. So instead of putting my earphones on or instead of opening a book, I think what's really helpful is for people to talk to one another and just kind of find out what their story is. I mean, some people will let you know that they're not interested in talking to you. That's okay. Yeah. But I've been surprised how many times you'd get chatting with someone and it's usually pretty short. This one was a longer one because they're on a bus ride, and often it's just a few minutes. But you walk away, I don't know, I feel pretty good. Sometimes we've had a little laugh about something, and I think we should do a lot more of that around the world.
I love that, which is, hey, it's the basis of what we're doing right now.
Kind of what you're doing here, Charlie.
We're talking, we're having some more conversations, and I love that because human beings are we're encyclopedias, we're books, we're just loaded up with all these information and experiences, and you asking me about something, or you going into getting into a conversation with me, makes me as a human feel so much better, makes me feel seen and heard.
Yes, seen and heard.
Right? And like someone's checking up on me. It's like someone actually cares.
Yeah.
And then also we both learn things. You learn things about me. I learn things about you. You come away being wiser and more knowledgeable and smarter.
See, it's all I can do now is not start asking you about your background and Kenya. That would go completely off the rail because this is your podcast. It's not mine.
But hey,
I get that.
If we're on a bus, if we're chilling, for sure.
Why not?
But yeah, you see, you'd learn so much about me, and I would also ask you about.
That's a good point. You can't be just ask. I think you got to reveal a bit of yourself. You can ask questions, but in return, you got to give a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that happened to me once.
Share.
I think that's what we need to do. And one last thing, Charlie, before I let you, got some more folks there, is you think about our society, we're just bombarded with information, but everyone's talking to us.
Yeah.
We're not asking the questions. We're just being told how we should think, how we should feel, how we should. Yeah, it needs to be a little more, back and forth.
Love that, Pete. More conversation, more sharing.
Yeah, that's it.
Love it.
Thank you.
So
I've enjoyed
warm.
this.
I have as well. Thank you so much.
Good, man.
Awesome. Pete coming through with that beautiful, soul-warming answer. Talk to people. Ask about how they're doing. Learn something from them. So important and so beneficial that. You know what else is super beneficial to us human beings? Food. Yeah, and my second to last guest on that market day was all about that food life. He's a professional foodie. He is the executive chef at popular restaurant Locals at the Old House and host of food podcast Edible Valley. Here's Jonathan Fraser. How would you describe yourself in 1 or 2 sentences?
I am a very passionate, hardworking person.
Nice.
Who loves food.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love me some food as well. So
food is the best thing in the world.
Love that. It is. I'm getting hungry just talk about it. So big question for you. What's one thing that you would advise everyone in the world to try at least once in their life?
Well, I'm going to say it's the blueberries that I just got here at the Comox Valley Farmers Market in Comox today.
That good?
That good. I'm just like, there's when you're just in the right spot at the right time with the perfect weather, and you just throw these beautiful blueberries in your mouth. It just made life just perfect.
Just melt.
I mean, it just happens to me, and that was just now. So I'm super excited about that.
So the name of the podcast is More of That, Please. So we ask different questions to get people to tell us what they want to see more of in the world. And I feel like for you, it's more food, but also more natural, more fruit.
Just delicious food. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's cooked right, it's fresh, it's local.
Yes.
That's the best thing for me. So
more fresh, local, delicious food.
Exactly. And you can't beat that here in this Comox Valley. We are the land of plenty, right?
That's the thing. I was telling someone, the name Comox means that.
Land of plenty.
I wasn't wrong. I was like, I think I heard that. Now you've confirmed it. Thank you. Yes, the land of plenty.
I've been a chef in this community for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And you can't beat it. I've gone everywhere in the world, and this is home, and this is where the best food in the world is. So
I love it. More fresh, local, delicious Comox Valley food. Love it.
Well said.
Hey, you heard it from the chef. The best food in the world is right here in the Comox Valley. Love that. Almost as much as our last guest, Erin, loves her football.
I am a journalist and a sports fan who loves the Comox Valley.
Nice. Yeah. Well, what's your favorite sport? Do you have one?
I do. I will actually say it's American football. Not necessarily NFL football, but not, when you say football, not soccer. Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you played before?
Informally, yes.
Yeah.
And I was just one of those things that I grew up watching with my dad for years and just fell in love with it from when I was a little kid. And I know not a lot of women, really watch football or it's starting to grow a lot more. And I really love the idea of getting more women into the sport. So I'm a big fan of that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also love how for you it's a connection. It's yes, it is the sport, but it's also like a family, like a connection to your
exactly.
dad.
Absolutely.
And it's not just the sport. It's not just that. It's the whole ecosystem.
100%. And I think that's what I love about sports in general, not just necessarily football, that there's such a culture, and that might sound a bit cliched, but there is a culture, whether it's food, whether it's family, friends, relationships, anything from tailgating to the way that Olympics bring people together at 2 a.m. to watch friends, family compete. I just love that. And it's such a nice thing to be a part of.
No, it definitely is a culture thing. Yes. And sometimes people try to reduce sports to just, it's just people running around with a ball, but it's so much more than that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So, big question for you. If you were president of the world for a day, what would you make free for everyone?
Well, I think there's definitely a lot of ways that I could answer this question. I'm going to go with a very maybe practical, maybe a little simplistic answer, but I'm just going to say access to billionaires' bank accounts. Yes.
Okay. We're getting into we're on that Robin Hood thing.
I like it. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So I think, if people had access to, and it sounds funny, to money, but it would just be really nice to have, everybody experience what it would be like to have something that they really wanted for the day. And that could be defined in so many different ways. So to give people an opportunity to get whatever they want, to have whatever they want, something that is very practical, impractical, and runs the gamut of that. I think to give that a try for one day would just be so much fun and joy and intrigue and mystery to see what people do with that money.
I love that. It's like a magical genie with a wish.
I like that.
Access to a
billionaire's bank accounts.
Okay. So the name of the podcast is More of That, Please. So with these questions, we're trying to see what people want to see more of in the world. And for you, I feel like it's more fulfilling of dreams, but also some economic equality as well.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. And it's interesting to kind of bring it a full circle going back to sports. Yeah. I think that's definitely where a lot of people maybe take a bit of offense to definitely maybe North American professional sports because they see the economics of it, people getting paid millions of dollars, whereas maybe, other professions around the world, maybe it's not quite justifiable. So I think that's where it kind of plays into it a little bit and just sort of the culture around sports, money, and kind of what brings people together.
Yeah. I get so many
big question.
It's a big question, but you gave an even bigger answer.
Thank you
for that. Now I'm gonna go around thinking about that, but that's a beautiful answer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Access to a billionaire's bank account.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff. Hey Elon.
Just saying.
Hey, just for a day. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming through. Awesome. Yo, being a billionaire for a day would be wild. Big shout out to Aaron for that amazing idea. And big shout out to all the other guests who came through and talked on the mic and shared what they want to see more of in the world. That's the end of episode 4 of More of That, Please. I want to say big thanks to the Comox Valley Farmers Market for allowing me to set up at their location. Big thanks to Comox Valley Arts and their Microgrant for facilitating all of this, but biggest thanks goes to you for tuning in and listening to this podcast. In case you have any thoughts and feedback, comment down below. I would love to read those and talk about them on the next episode. Like, share, and subscribe. It would help us get this podcast out to more and more people. And thank you so much again for tuning in. I have been your host, Charlie Karomi, and you have been listening to your community pop-up podcast. More of that, please.